Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the introductory episode of the Weekly Reckoning. As the title suggests, where Steve and I and whoever else like to take a wrecking ball to all the things that are happening in the news and get an opinion on it. So we are happy that you are joining us on this pilot, right? A pilot episode, as they used to do in TV, which is pretty much news from the pew brought over here and to see how it would work. But I think it's going to be great. We got some great topics for you tonight. The Pam Bondi hearing, which nobody's heard from her because the Dow's under 50,000, but we'll get into that in a little bit. The Olympics are apparently happening. There was a big dust up with the SSPX. We'll get into that as well. Bad Bunny played the Super Bowl. Supposed Catholic Bad Bunny played the Super Bowl, so we'll see how people react to that and anything else we can seem to find ourselves into. So welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I'm pleased to be here on Census Fidelum's channel with the man himself. How are you tonight, Steve?
Pretty good. How you doing, man?
I'm not doing great. My guys on RFK, I was watching the duels at Daytona because it's Daytona week, and pretty much they all crashed out. So it wasn't great. Only one out of 4 cars survived. So I wasn't very happy about that. But I'm here now. I'm hanging out with you. Everything's good to go.
Yeah, just like you said, another idea I wanted to run with. I had the itch after doing the last show with the when Rundown asked me to come on for the last show, and I got the little itch like, you know what, I want to get back into doing something like that. That was fun. I missed it, and so here we are trying to do this, and we got another one. He'll probably join us maybe next week or the week. He's got sick family right now. He's been Mike Pantelli. I think Mike, if I screwed up your last name, forgive me.
We'll figure that out as soon as you get here.
Yeah, he wants to be John. He's excited. He wants to join in, and we'll see if we get a foursome or not, or if not, we'll just do yes or whatever. But yeah, we'll have a little fun with it. It'll be a little different, just like before. Stick on the culture events, do some interact with you guys in the chats. Any questions, topic pop up, go for it. We'll run with it. Have a fun time with it. Definitely, it's not a clown plan. It's not a news NFP show. It's just it's a different breed. We're gonna try to make. Remember, we were talking off there. We're gonna try to make it like a PTI, if you know ESPN lingo, pardon the interruption type deal. Maybe try to do some kind of something like that, something different. But anyway, we'll see how it rolls. But anyway, yeah, we're like I said, try to have some fun, light it up, and kind of like old times in a sense.
No topic is off limits, and no topic is safe from our vicious rhetoric that we will be coming after it. And so we are going to dive right in to our first topic of the night, probably something that nobody expected. And that was, well, I say nobody expected. I think we did, but we just didn't think it was going to be this bad. It was Pam Bondi in front of Congress yesterday, or was it 2 days ago? Earlier this week. That way I can say it better. Earlier this week. Was it? It was yesterday. Okay. Yeah. Talking to Congress and essentially melting down. I called it. She acted like an angry mom if you pulled them into a PTA meeting, and they, well, your boy is not doing well in school, and the mom just gets so mad and starts stomping her feet. My little baby would never do anything wrong, and he's just the best. It's kind of the vibes I got from good old Pam, who I felt was the worst pick for Attorney General ever. EVR ever. I mean, literally, you could have picked any of the lawyers from Law and Order Special Victims Unit, and they would have been better than this lady. But she is getting roasted on the internet. And her high point, I don't know if we can actually hear this. Can we hear the audio, or do you just want me to tell them?
Well, this is just one of the many ones. I don't know which one is.
So she's getting roasted by Matt.
Is this from Ron Paul? They're making fun of it as well, just talking about that.
And it's crazy how it was Thomas Massey, who MAGA hates, which means I love him, going back and forth with her. And she essentially has a Hillary Clinton moment the Hillary Clinton moment where she was in front of the panel from Benghazi and she said, "What difference does it make now?" That's her famous quote. Pam Bondi is being asked about the Epstein files and she's going, "Why are you asking about the Epstein files? The Dow is over 50,000." And that collectively went, huh? There was a collective, huh? You could actually hear a pin drop because everybody was so stupefied at the absolute ridiculous, trying non sequitur to get her out of this whole thing. And as Steve was showing you, they've got anime of this Pam, like Japanese anime of Pam Bondi thing. They've got all kinds of stuff.
Now, I don't know why you're laughing. You're a great stock trader, as I hear, Raskin. The Dow is over 50,000 right now. The S&P at almost 7,000. And the NASDAQ smashing records. Americans' 401ks and retirement savings are booming. That's what we should be talking about. We should be talking about making Americans safe. We should be talking about, what does a Dow have to do with anything? That's what they just asked. Are you kidding?
Mr. Jordan, Mr. Jordan. Committee.
And somebody asked this question, why is she there? Because Trump likes blondes. It's that simple. Trump has a type, and Trump likes the blondes. It's that simple. He's actually been quoted. "I don't care if they look good. I don't care if they can do the job as long as they look good, and I can look at them." That's all he cares about. And the second point, you? I know. The second point is that she's a loyalist. She is, as you could tell in that hearing, she's a 100% loyalist. No matter what Trump's done, there's a South Park skit. We can't show it, but it pretty much we can't show it, but it encapsulates Pam Bondi's go to the wall attitude for Trump. Trump could do nothing wrong in her opinion, and that's why she's there. And he's turned into an official boomer because he has Facebook posts now that are about they're longer than Tolkien's Lord of the Rings, every one of these book posts. But it's one of these things. You're right. All of Trump's picks right now, they are loyalists, and that's what Trump did. Trump wanted to make sure that there was nobody there that could stab him in the back. Yeah, look at this thing. I think this is the Silmarillion, the Hobbit, and the Lord of the Rings all rolled into one. He's an official boomer now with these 9,000 post True Social things. And I'm not reading that. I'm not too bad. Too bad, Trump. I ain't reading all that. So it's absolutely ridiculous what we're seeing out of this administration. It's completely tone deaf, Steve. Trump ran on the Epstein files. They all ran on releasing the Epstein files. I think it's actually the 2-year anniversary of the actual binders. It's the 2-year anniversary of the official binders. And now that they're out, they're like, "Oh, look, squirrel. Don't look over here." Even though it's some of the most ghastly things you've ever heard of in your life. But nope, we're going to talk about the stock market. She is the queen of deflecting. That's right, Amy. That's right. Happy anniversary to all those who celebrate the official binder postings of 2 years ago. Pam, I've got them on my desk. Oh, it's 1 year? Yeah, everything in Trump land feels like 6 months more. But yes, it's the 1 year anniversary for those who celebrate, but it's absolutely ridiculous at this point to see this stuff. Yeah. There's the infamous binders. They all came out and there was nothing there. Now we actually have stuff. And nobody wants to talk about it. Yeah, I get that we're not going to get anything better than him, but as Steve and I have talked about at length, it shouldn't be about the guy in DC. We shouldn't have to worry about the guy in DC, Steve. That position should not be strong enough that we have to be like, well, he's the best of a bad bunch.
Yeah, so when there was another guy who was going after me on because what did I say? It's something about it was because of Minnesota,
right?
Yeah, whether Tim Howman was saying that they were getting out of Minnesota and everyone's just losing their pearl clutching and losing it, going, "Oh, we just gave in to the radical left. We gave into the anti-ICE guys. We gave into these guys. We're losing everything." And most everyone that said that lives in Texas or Mississippi or Georgia, or I don't think I saw a couple people in Minnesota talk about it. They were happy, but then you can't live. It's got to be someone, you got to live somewhere else to be upset. And it's like, what do you mean? I don't even know that's going on unless I turn on X or Twitter or Facebook or whatever. I don't have no clue what's going on in Minnesota unless that's going on, which, that's what he ran on. No, actually he did. He's got plenty of video. Well, I got plenty of video of him saying that he wants to give amnesty. And we were joking about that for months, about him saying he wants to give amnesty to pretty much the people that he hired to work at the Trump.
To be fair, when he was on the campaign trail, remember, they're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats. He was talking about deportations. There were signs at the Republican National Convention about mass deportation. So he did run on it. As soon as he got into office, he's like, yeah, but the hotels and the worker and the farm,
not getting rid of my guys.
He backtracked faster than Dion in his prime as soon as he got into office. But
and even
on the campaign trail, I don't fault the people for being mad, because on the campaign trail, that's what he promised.
Even the numbers are not even close to the other guys. I mean, I think Brandon even deported more. Obama definitely did. But it's like, many times it's, we're not going to get all the interviews in the last year. We're not getting rid of everyone. Not getting rid of everyone. Not getting rid of everyone. And then the worst of the worst, you hear about like the lady that put a $25 check and it get bounced and they try to go after her. Anyways, different topic. But yeah, Pam, she knows. It's just like that post that came out by DJT. She knew that she had his backing, or she had his backing. She could go in there, act like a complete child in a sense. His cane, make a farce out of everything, which it was just a big drama TV, because all those guys pointing at her. I wouldn't say all, maybe Massey wouldn't do that, but the rest of those guys, sure, were they right? Yes, but they haven't done anything either. They didn't do anything. They wouldn't do anything. The one guy that called her out saying that she lied in front of everybody, and she retells, "How dare you? You don't ever call him." It was like WWF scripted or something like this weird. And the comebacks, as like she was like, you could hear her say, "Liar." You just said it. You literally just said it. And he's calling you out on it. So yeah, was there political stuff in there? Yes. Political games going on. 100%. Because again, nobody's been arrested. Sure. Had these guys never cared about it until all of a sudden now it's come up too. That is correct as well. Except for Massey. I would say Massey's been the only one that's been consistent on this whole thing. But yeah, she knew that she was an untouchable. And people were going like, I remember, I think even Ryan Christian, the vagabond, he even thought that she was going to get fired over it. I'm going, nah, she's not going anywhere. Nah. She wasn't going into the lion's den like that, not knowing that she had his total backing, because that was confidence. When she would say back, as bad as she was, she said it with confidence. Like she knew that she could do whatever, she could do anything and get away with it. It's kind of like the line from Transformers, Section 8 or Section 7. What is that? It's so I can do whatever I want to get away with a card. She had that card. Again, it's crazy. And maybe that point about the 50,000 thing. I think I saw Brian Grant posted it, and that made a lot of sense too, saying that they're telling you, and I think that's partially right too, that hey, look at the economy. We could tank this thing if you guys do what you're wanting to do. Most of us going like, we'll take that gamble. What's the odds? 2-1, 3-1? What's that thing? I'll put
at some point during that, she said if we reveal the Epstein list, the whole system will fall down. So it makes sense that she would then go to the Dow portion as well. And if she was going to get fired, she was going to get fired all the way back when the binder mess happened. Like if she, if Trump was going to fire her, it would have been over something like that. The fact that she survived that, she's untouchable. She's untouchable at this point.
You can't go from I have the list on the desk to it doesn't exist to here's a 3 million page drop in a week.
Found it. It was keeping up my table. It was actually popping up.
I joked on Clown Pan about it. Do anybody know how big 3 million pages are? Now I get it, it's all digital, but 3 million pages is like you get a thing at the Lowe's or the Home Depot or whatever. You get Office Depot, you get a pack that's about that big. You get 500 pages. Try that 1 million pages. It's like it's going to the clouds. I mean, That's a lot of reading, and no one reads that much. Can't even get people to read that many pages, much less 3 million pages. And then you got to go in and do the thing, and then the whole redacted thing. They redacted the people that did the crime, and they pretty much highlighted the victims, and then like even Joseph, Jesus, Mary, and Joseph got redacted. And so I don't know how he got how they even got involved in the whole. How does the Holy Family get involved in this? I mean, they're all over the place in the thing, anyways. And there's some stuff that's probably that's red meat for many. You saw a lot of guys in the Catholic world going around the Steve Bannon TLM email and things like that. And Bannon's been in a lot of that. He's all over that thing. I didn't know him and Epstein was that close, friends and all that. I mean, they had a 3 or 20-hour interview, and there was like 20 minutes out or something like this. And but no, there's a. Notice, and then Levitt comes out there without her cross this time, and pretty much says that it's that we're done with it. We're moving on. It's over with. You got your 3 million. Go chew it up, eat it, digest it. We're moving on to bombing Iran. You guys get in line and stop talking about Epstein. Bibby's in the back over there. The boss is in town, and we're done with Epstein. Jeffrey's gone, and maybe Ghislaine gets out in a couple weeks.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, she's hanging out and. She doesn't have to. She's hanging out at the minimum security country club in Texas somewhere around here. So she's fine. They'll probably parade her out at some point to back up all the claims that Trump's making, just to kind of really put the cherry on top of that. But yeah, like
Manjana said out here, they screw up the COVID creators. Bill Gates has been over for lunch 3 or 4 times last year. The only person that's had lunch more, I think, is Netanyahu. But Gates has been all over. I haven't heard Fauci's name, but you still hear the Don says he's the father of the jab, and how warp speed, literally a couple of weeks ago, says warp speed was one of the greatest things in the history of greatness. Like if you see the top greatest things in the history of the world, creation comes in number 2 and warp speed is number 1 in the book of the Don. So yeah, they it's it. Like I said, the people were talking about COVID's in the files. I think everything's in the files. The Dodgers might even be in the files. I mean, literally 3 million pages. Something's good. Glenn Beck said he's in it because they mentioned his name. I mean, the Vatican got in it. They put John Paul II in it. I think Mother Teresa's in it. Literally almost every human that's.
Remember, a lot of these are just emails back and forth talking about things.
Yeah, there's no contact.
There's no there's 3 NASCAR drivers that are in it, and people are like, "What are you talking about?" It's like, and one of them's like, "Hey, did you see Jeff Gordon in that commercial?" And that's how he's now in the files. So it's
the one thing that does get changed is Trump's name gets eliminated by 100 pages every day. That's the only real big change.
Yep.
I mean, there are some evil stuff. I mean, they're talking about like babies and getting them learning how to suck and things like that. And there's some really dark, evil, horrific things in it. Yes. And then there's, like you said, race car, or we're watching the Glenn Beck show, and then everything in between, from obviously pizza, because now you can't say pizza without anything. I actually tweeted that I'm having pizza right now. Go and think what you want. And so but then it shows that the Pizzagate, which had nothing to do with the pizza parlor, it was just like the what's his face with the Nixon. It had nothing to do with the hotel. It was everything else that was going on. It's nothing to do with the pizza place. It's just everything else that's wrapped around it. Go back to the Franklin cover-up, which still has not been. No one's going to jail over that, and that's been in the 80s. So if you don't think they're going to jail over that, and people are like, lock her up with Clinton. Look at it. You see Trump throwing Massey under the bus pretty much as he breathes, but then turns around, hey, guys, stop going after the Clintons. They're friends of mine. Wait a minute. Everyone got conned into that whole lock her up thing. And I still have people to this day that I'll show the email, the video of him at the next day at the inauguration breakfast in 2016. And they're like, oh, no, the Clintons weren't there. Here, ABC News, YouTube channel. Go scroll to about the 3-minute mark when he goes over there. I want to thank my friends, Bill and Hillary Clinton over there. And I've seen their faces go from They just crush. It's like I crushed their soul over there. They're man. He had no. What do you expect? They're all friends.
Yeah, it's a big club, and you're not in it.
Yeah.
And that's one of these things. Steve and I in previous shows told you there was a reason Trump was going to be allowed to become president again, because these things would all come out and Trump would be able to navigate the waters of a Epstein file drop and all these other kinds of things. Because his MAGA base, which I am getting farther and farther away from every day. I haven't been quote unquote MAGA since the election. I'm a Catholic. That's how I talk about myself politically. But the MAGA base is furiously defending everything. Like with, you could tell the MAGA shills on X because they were just reposting the clips from Pam Bondi, like, oh, she crushes Massey here and look at her retort over here. And I'm going, bro, don't be a simp for like a 60-year-old woman. Like, can you stop this, please? But that's
what it was in sound clips. They wanted it.
Yep. So it is
somebody speaking my love language.
Yeah, there is no left right.
Yeah, the fake left and the fake right. There is nothing else.
There is a uni-party, and that is it's the club, man. It's WWE. They all hang out at the same bars and the same places in DC, and they talk about how stupid every single one of us are.
That's
all they want to do.
Jason Bassler put it up. He was talking about the ICE agents are upset they're not getting their $50,000 bonus, and he goes, "You're upset about that? I was promised no more IRS, no more Department of Education, which just got like a $250 million fundraiser or something like that from Trump. No more wars, no more income tax, no more this, no more that."
Yeah, where's that tariff money?
Happened. What do you think was going to happen? Oh, he promised. Yeah, the guy has promised 50,000 things and came out with absolutely none.
Then, I mean, people will say, well, what about USAID? Yeah, USAID got closed down and then moved under the Secretary of State. And so now Marco Rubio, who's in charge of everything else, is in charge of that as well. So
I still got guys that are big names in the Catholic circle who have no clue about what's going on outside of whatever the cheerleaders online post about it. I mean, like the Trump accounts, it's from the, I mean, like, are you against socialism? Yeah. All right, square this. That's not socialism. All right.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people don't really want to say or understand that we are a mixed economy at best. At best. At worst, we are pretty much full-fledged into the naughty words that people don't want to talk about.
You want to say half? I'm thinking we're full-fledged. I mean, they've already taken over internet companies, private companies, and just in the last year, and that's not even before the take over General Government Motors and that back in the day of the joke with Obama taking over GM and people were, hey, that's socialism. But when the fake right side does it, it's, oh, look at that capitalist move. The government took over the sector. It's okay when we do it. They become the meme. It's 2000 when during the we can't be we're out there protesting. You got the fake left over there saying you can't be doing, you're going to kill Granny. Now the fake right's upset. You can't be out there protesting. I mean, like Daily Show's even going, all of a sudden the rights against guns.
Yeah, that was a huge red flag for me. Speaking of red flag laws, when that happened, and you had Kash Patel, who's on a plane with his country music girlfriend somewhere in the country right now, saying, well, you can't bring a gun to a protest. Listen here, sweetheart. Yeah, you can, especially if you have a license to carry, which the guy had. Now, I'm not defending Petty. I think that, he shouldn't have squared up the way he should have, because I teach it in LTC courses. But the fact of the matter is, you don't do that kind of stuff. You don't, and really, you don't mess with the fact that the talking points from the attorney, from the head of the FBI and the Secretary of the Treasury, right? The Treasury came out. He's like, yeah, you can't have guns. It's like, okay, yeah, you guys are all now. We're just parroting the points of the left. Once again, uni-party.
Yeah, it's. And then don't get started on Cash if he doesn't.
Notice how he's
Poor-
disappeared. He's
Poor
disappeared ever since the Charlie Kirk
He doesn't know where he's
incident.
going. He walks cross-eyed. He doesn't know where he's walking or going or anything like that. They have to
You
sit him
said
there in the heist chair because his feet are dangling in the interviews. And the poor guy is not even in control of his own
Let's
company.
be nice to short people. Let's not, you
I-
know, you
I-
can make
I-
fun of
I-
Cash Patel.
yeah,
You don't have to be
man.
after short people, my man. All right, we're not all like him. As the short emperor, as the short representative of the program, I do have to say that, you know, let's comment on the short people hate. All right, a little bit on that. Come on.
Short people need loving too. No, but he doesn't even run his own company. I mean, we're going to Cash. It's the whole thing is just the what show of just the fake outrage the other day with the we my wap.
Oh yeah.
The whole the Obama monkey. I laughed my head off on that. And then you get the fake outrage on the he went they're all the racist posts. Well, he had Brandon as a monkey too.
Everybody was there, man.
It was an equal opportunity offender. I thought it was hysterical.
It is a valid point to ask. If you are getting mad at it, aren't you just why are you getting mad at it? You're just affirming that it's something that affects you. You got when it's like, oh, we get mad because of that. Well, if you don't get mad, nobody associates it. It's just a racial, it's a dog whistle for those people, those people who cash their checks on racism. And so that's why they continue to get mad about these sorts of things.
Yep.
So,
and long and short of it, no one's going to go to prison.
Nope. Nothing.
As I said, no one's going to jail. And you read they say they read 3 million pages and talk about how heinous the stuff is. Why hasn't anybody been indicted yet? They'll go after who's it going? They went after someone the other day.
Don Lemon was the last person they went after. I thought.
Was it that? No, someone else. I didn't even pay attention to Don Lemon on that. I was like, oh, that's goofy. What's going on over there with that? But there was something else that I remember posting. He's not in the Epstein. Oh, it was Trump's spiritual advisor or something like that.
Oh, that lady.
Dude.
Oh, are you talking about the Catholic that got booted? There was a Catholic that got booted off of his faith council.
Oh no, you're thinking of what just happened the other day when she talks about calls out the Zionists and asks about if it's anti-Semitic to talk about how Zionism is evil and things like that, and which again, people are shocked that she got fired. And I'm going, Catholics for Catholics are out there posting, I can't believe that happened. Wait a minute, you guys don't remember the EO that came out at the beginning of last year that condemned anti-Semitism and put a censorship on there, said anybody could get thrown out of the.
Don't worry, they just bought these huge warehouses. Did you see that, Steve? They bought these huge warehouses for deportations. Yep. And people are like, why do we need warehouses for deportations? And it's like, oh, no, sweetheart. That's for after when Trump leaves office and there's a Democrat in office. Just understand that's for us. That's not for them. That's for us.
That's the thing. You got all this stuff coming out the last couple of weeks. You're focused on this other stuff. But meanwhile, the kill switch in the car is going on. You got the 15-minute, the digital IDs coming in with the SAVE Act. Everyone's like, we got to get the SAVE Act.
I apologize. I got to take care of something real quick. I'll be back very quickly. I'm sorry about that.
You're good.
Yep.
Yeah, it's in the yeast to that. We're going to have the digital ID coming out of that. What else? The CBDC. So that, again, I've asked my friends to go to talk about, hey, you got to keep the TLM alive, and we got to drive to the TLM, which is great. Yes, great. And none of them have the answer to this question. When all this comes out, how do you get their family to drive 30, 40, 55 minutes when your house is now under surveillance from, as they showed the other day? We'll get into that with the Super Bowl commercial. I got that one with the puppies. I'll have to remind Rick about that. Your house is being surveilled. If you have any kind of Alexa, Google Assistant in there, that's intelligence. Your smart TV spying on you, your smart washer spying on you. If you have a smart thermostat, that's spying on you. Your Ring camera is now spying on you. Amazon has cameras all over it. They're spying on you. Your car is spying on you and has a kill switch. And then you got flock cameras. What if you can get out of the house without being spied on, which you can't anymore? Because then you got your neighbors. They have the things too. And then you got these flock cameras all over the place that are spying on you as well. And they know you're going to they know it's Sunday, they know what day it is. They know the route you're taking. They can see all the other cameras, what's going, where you're going. Maybe you don't get to go to mass because they shut your car down. And, people think that's a crazy, concept, but they just shut down the world 6 years ago. So what's to say they couldn't do something like that, especially when they have the tech? And then the Olympics, you got these drones that are moving at a warp speed. I mean, these guys are some of them are autonomous too. The Olympics been fun to watch, but you see you hear the drones and they got perfect vision on it. And it's because they're flying at 70, 80 miles an hour. And you don't even know, the camera's not even shaking. It's just perfection. And then you think about they use over in Israel, they're using drones and Ukraine and Russia, they're all using drones for attacks like this. And you look at the really, really, really scary ones that have like itty bitty, like bug shaped ones, and they can from anyone target somebody, pop you in the head, things like that. It's just nuts. I'll be skating to the TLM 2-hour car drive away. Brian, you must live in Antarctica or Canada or something like that. And like, you be skating, roller skating or ice skating? I'm sorry, I'm in the Olympic mood, so I was immediately thinking ice skating. Yeah, I mean, there's a parish 5 minutes away from me, but it's one of those you don't think your worst enemy to type deal thing where they're making jokes and kumbaya, and it's just really, 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 really bad. The average age, I think, is Moses. I'm not joking. I think half the people do know Moses. I knew, Saskatchewan. By the way, is it Saskatoon? Yeah, the Saskatoon. Isn't Saskatchewan named after the Saskatoon berry? You would know that more. You live there. I've heard, unless that's a different town. Am I confusing the two? Anyway, I got Saskatoons in the back growing right now. We got the Canadian weather. I wonder how many flat cameras Venezuela has. G money ass. They just gave oil to Israel for the first time. Gee, who didn't see that coming? That was kind of part of the whole "told you so" Tuesday thing. Israel's Venezuela. Yep, Brian just came out with it. He saw that too. Venezuela's Venezuela oil money now. Juneberry Saskatoons. Yes, I love them, especially the wild ones. Yes, Juneberry, and because they mentioned something about you guys were named. Saskatchewan was named after them. Cool berry, by the way. If you guys want to, instead of driving growing blueberries, we're all over the place. I know. Saskatoons or Juneberries, they'll let you know when spring's coming. And they also was used to be able to figure out when you could bury the dead because the ground was so hard that you couldn't bury anyone. And when the blooms start coming out, you knew that the ground was able to be dug. So that came from another name, was serviceberry. That's where serviceberry comes, because the service of burying the dead. You're useless knowledge, but they're easier to grow than blueberries. I'll give you that. You're surprised that the Democrats aren't on board with the digital ID. It's just the next logical step, the regression of having a tattooed barcode ID in idiocracy. Yes, they are for it. They're just going to pretend not to be for it. You don't see them yelling about it in the debates. They're upset about just ID in general, but also remember that it's a show that you're watching, that it could be just, all right, we want to put on the thing. This is what's going to happen. This is going to get passed, but we want you to make a stink out of it anyways. Kind of like if you watch, I remember talking about this long ago in the World Economic Forum year 2020. If you find the one on the oil tycoons, you'll see them, the same guys, BP's there, the BP CEO's there, talking about the alternative fuels. And Corbett brings up this point on there. He goes, these guys, and that's it. This is in How Big Oil Conquered the World, part 2 or 3. It's a 3-part episode, I think. If it's a 2-part episode, it's in part 2. If it's a 3-part episode, it's part 3. Anyway, he mentions that these guys have been pretty much, the DC's told them, we're going to make you guys a ton of money, but we're going to make you out to be the villain, and we're going to talk bad about you, but just don't listen to the words because you're going to get the checks. And they're playing the game. So the Democrats probably be the same thing on this, playing the game, just like the Republicans are doing, playing the game with other things. Because like someone just said, just like Obamacare and how Republicans are now running it. Exactly. It's all about control. Calhounian theory of this is when the other team is out of power, they start finding state rights and local and limited government again. When you're in power, you throw all that out and you go to town on this. Say, Rick, we've talked about everything. We've talked about Saskatoon berries, June berries, the Olympics,
all right, guys, thanks for hanging out with us.
The Google commercial where they're looking at the puppies. Did you see the puppy commercial?
I did. I did not watch the Super Bowl this year.
I didn't watch it either. I haven't watched it in years.
Nope, I did not watch it. I watched. People can give me nonsense. I watched Night of the Seven Kingdoms on HBO. Actually, not bad. There wasn't anything bad so far, so it'll probably be bad.
I was watching curling.
Yeah, I mean, from what I don't care about football. I watched the commercials on, like, you know how YouTube does a compilation. None of those were any good. Watch the movie trailers. None of those were any good anyway. It just speaks to a cultural stagnation that we have.
Carolina got in a couple weeks ago for the wild card, and that was the first game I watched. One reason, because usually we're going to be coming back from liturgy or mass, and it's already half over, and I don't have regular TV, and they're on regular TV, and we just don't have it, so we don't know why. They just don't even remember they're even on. So was able to pull it up, get it, watch it for that. What happened is I ordered the Fox News app, the Fox Sports app.
Yep.
Paid for got the free trial for a week, and then canceled it after the game was over.
I did that for the they have this thing called the Clash at Winston for NASCAR. It's an XP. I did the same thing. I signed up for it, watched that, they canceled it after that one. So yep, we
were jacked. We were up. I mean, I was like, man, another game would have been great. People here were still jacked, even though it was a loss. But yeah, I make the idea of before saying it. Once your team gets in the game, then it just turns into another game that your team's not in it. Because after Carolina got in it, I used to watch all the games going up to it. Then Carolina in 2003, and then I never watched it again. I was like, why do I watch? But our boys aren't in it. It's useless. Yeah. I mean, I remember who was in it, and I remember going to a Super Bowl party when a friend of mine was a Saints fan. I say was because he died, and I remember people were like, "Why'd you buy him a jersey?" I didn't think they'd win. Poor guys, you help him out. But it was torturous. I hated watching teams I don't like. I was like, this is boring, wasting my time. So yeah, when these came up, when like this was going up, I would check to see what the score was. Just like curious to see what band I was going. Wow, it's that bad. Who's watching this? And we're watching curling. I'm thinking the kids are like, yeah.
Curling is.
It was fun.
Yeah. I caught some cross. Did you catch by chance the guy in the downhill that got, he sliced a pole down the middle?
The video that I think that was from long ago. I don't think that was this year.
Are you sure? Oh well, either way, it was pretty awful.
It's an older video, but that was still hysterical. Poor guy. But yeah, no, I did see the lady. I forget her name. She's in Colorado in Vail. Who hit the pole? She went in, and the pole's here. Her arm went in it when she's airborne. Turned her around, shattered her leg. Vaughn,
Lindsey Vaughn, yeah. That's
I guess a week before she tore her MCL.
Yeah, she was trying to do that without an ACL, which was as somebody who does not have an ACL, you can do normal stuff, but trying to cut like that. I mean, the brace you would have to have on to even stabilize it wouldn't have even.
Yeah, that's why I never tore one. I've worn the braces because I used to sell those, and you could feel like you could squat a house.
You can move that good, but even under stress like that, it's still...
I don't know. I couldn't give you a real. I've never skied.
Really? I used to. Trying to you're using that ACL to cut back and forth.
Yeah, so when I heard that, I'm going, I don't know about that. That's if she did that, then she's just a small tear. But I saw how she went down before. That wasn't a small tear.
No, it probably her ACL was probably gone. That's
Yeah, well, her whole leg is almost gone now.
Yeah, she's had like 3 surgeries on it since then. And that's the
But
sad.
yeah, no,
I hate
yeah,
to say
it's
this,
just-
folks. That's what happens when you're a career woman. She's 41, no kids, no husband, no nothing. And that's when your career is all you got. You're gonna take risks like that, and that's a shame to see. Right? Yeah, you need them. Need the Batman. What was it? The Dark Knight Return.
Yeah,
ones?
yeah, the Dark Knight ones. Yeah, those pretty much those. But yeah, you put a gun in it. I couldn't tell you how to score curling, but it's fun. We're actually still watching. Still, they got doubles on right now, or the team event. But the mixed ones went fun, which goes back into how we're not a nation, because that's not in our culture in the South. You don't.
Yeah.
One of the kids goes, "Can we learn curling?" And I'm like, "There's none here because we don't have that.
Year. You can do it 1 week a year when the ice storm hits, and that's it."
We have shuffleboard. we don't have curling is like the northern shuffleboard on this, and maybe they scored the same way. I don't know, but there's a Haitian that went into the cross country skiing. He finished dead last, of course. I guess he's the only one of his shade.
I thought, he showed up by himself. Yeah.
Yes.
It's like Cool Runnings, the sequel.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, I mean the luge and all that is like, but I was mentioning about the drones. I don't know if you've seen any part of the Olympics. They got drones all over this thing.
Oh yeah, they love new networks. Love drones. You can get all kinds of shots. You can get all
great
kinds
shots,
of
cool shots, and scary as anything if you think about what the tech that's coming out. But yes, it's.
And here's the scary thing is, Steve, is that is the tech you're allowed to see.
Well, that's true too. Yes,
the tech you're allowed to see. The tech that you're not allowed to see is truly the scary one. That's about 20 years, in the 20 years advanced that we have no idea about. This tech that we're seeing now is probably developed somewhere in the early 2000s that we're now being allowed to use and see. And I was coming back up the stairs. I heard you talk about the Ring commercial and how everybody was like, "Yeah, that's not cool, man. That's not cool with the Ring."
That woke up a lot of normies.
Yeah,
I also saw it was the running back from the Steelers. He even posted about it, saying, I think it was the quote, "Throw your ring in the lake." After that one. And,
well, people should have woke up when Amazon signed that deal where they said, "Yeah, we're going to give your footage to the police no matter what."
Yeah.
Yeah. If they just ask for it, they don't even need a warrant. We're just going to give them all your video.
And that's another thing about the whole thing with the Guthrie thing. You've been keeping up with this?
Jog my memory on it, because that's the Epstein file stuff.
I'll pull up the actual video from your friends at Fox.
I met that fellow once. He's a pretty good dude.
The backstory is the lady, she works for CBS. Excuse me, her mother got abducted.
You're talking about Savannah Guthrie.
Yes.
And her mom. Yes.
So this is how they found some of the.
Want to learn more about that. I bet many viewers want to learn more about because this is a key part of the breakthrough. My sense is that the engineers and the technicians at Google, the company that owns Nest, deserve a lot of credit for this breakthrough.
Shut up, Brian.
And you can read between the lines of Kash Patel's statement and get that sense. He said, working with our partners, they were able to obtain this video. Well, for viewers who aren't familiar how Nest works, these are some of the Nest cameras. So here's one of them that's for outdoor use. Here's an indoor camera that's for indoor use. You plug these in, you're able to see whatever the camera sees. But unless you have a monthly subscription to the cloud interface, there's not a backup of the recordings. You're able to see the video live if you have it plugged in. You're not able to see a backup. A lot of people don't bother to pay for the backup for $10 a month or whatever it is, because all you're ever going to see on your cameras is, well, in the Tucson desert, maybe a coyote every once in a while. But in this instance, according to the FBI, the Google engineers, these data forensics experts, were able to somehow retrieve the raw material that was coming off the camera live, that was being fed onto the servers live, even though there was not a subscription. There's going to be a lot of questions about that. And so far, we've only seen the video from what seems to be the doorbell camera and not from any other camera.
Anyway, this was great. This came out as a spoof video.
So before you play the spoof video, just real quick, remember there's the fact that all your devices are recording and there are transcripts being done of those. So even if you're not, like, I don't have a subscription service to have this front camera record what I'm doing, yet it's being recorded and being sent back to Apple. So that doesn't shock me at all that there's some kind of baseline data that's being sent back to Google or Amazon or whoever you're using, that they have some kind of low band, low something that they can scrape for data.
Yeah, well, like he said, it goes. This is also all this is about the surveillance states. Oh wow. But yeah, this is the spoof video for the Ring camera.
This is Milo. Pets are family, but every year 10 million of them go missing. And the ways we look for them haven't changed in years, except for all of these. But what if we could make finding one lost dog require the computational power of a small dictator-led nation state? Search Party from Ring uses AI to search through our tens of millions of cameras. We could find literally anyone, but we only use this technology to find lost dogs. Recently, we announced a partnership with over 5,000 law enforcement agencies, but we won't let them use this feature. This feature is just for dogs. Guess what? We've automatically opted your cameras in. Who has time to read settings? Not you. You're too busy being a hero, whether you know it or not. And the best part, it's free for everyone. We're just doing this out of the goodness of our hearts. Customers are loving Search Party, and so will you. Don't these nice images of kids reuniting with their lost dogs feel good? Look at this one. Doesn't that make you feel warm and fuzzy? There's absolutely no reason to go to wise.com and buy a camera with an SD card, because if you own all your own footage, you won't be able to help people find lost puppies. I'd tell you to join the neighborhood, but you're already in it. Search Party, way better than Wisecam, and definitely only for dogs.
That last one with all the cameras on top. And that's how you sucker people in. It'll just be used for dogs, man. Don't worry about it. Well,
Someone had a great quote. How do we get there? People to embrace the surveillance state. Puppies.
That's right. Just ask John Wick. It's all, we'll do strange things for puppies. So we'll do all kinds of stuff. But yeah, that's absolutely crazy. And then I actually have not watched much of the Olympics. Just because I haven't caught it, but it's an interesting spectacle that's put on every year. I do agree with Steve that or every 2 years, that it is funny to watch the United States field a team when half the team hates the other half of the team's politics, or the people from California hate everybody else, and of course all the athletes agree, but the athletes hate half the states, so we should just have representatives from Texas and South. I mean, Texas would win everything. Let's just be honest. But then you could have South Carolina and California and all these other states. There should be 50 additional teams.
Well, the medal standing is the U.S. is in 2. It's in second place right now. You see Italy, Germany, and all that. But if the same as you just brought up, if you have the European Union in one blot, like the United States is in one blot, they're crushing it.
Yeah.
Like Minnesota has a ton of people in a thing. All these Northerners, there ain't nobody in the South involved in it. That's why Southerners do not care about the Winter Olympics, because we don't do any of these sports at all. I mean, hockey, we you don't do hockey down here. You play road hockey, street hockey, luge. What is that? It's that's called skiing, or putting a paper box down when the snow comes every 5 years.
Yep.
So we don't do things like that. Just like skiing. I mean, where you go skiing at around here? Where do you train? You got to go up north to do any of this stuff. So it's
like Mexico's got some nice mountains. They got Ruidoso and stuff, like not Ruidoso, but they got some mountains over there. Some parts like Arizona's got some nice mountains you could ski in. So I'm
still waiting for the Mexican ski team to come out. I haven't seen them yet. ASA.
But they're working on it. They're working on it.
Yes. But no, it goes into the culture thing, the language, culture, customs, all that shows that this isn't a one nation thing, because our culture is not that. I mean, it's cool to watch, but I'm not looking at it as going, oh, I'm proud for the United States. I'm going, Minnesota should have had the flag up and singing the state song in Minnesota. That's cool. All these Minnesotans all jacked about it. I could care less. I mean, it's fun to watch. Again, it's a sport. I have no idea what they're doing. It's foreign to me, but it was fun to watch. I was like the Italians watching it, and it was like, okay, cool. I never seen it before, and know what I used to make fun of it, because there was a video back in the 70s, guy smoking while he's doing it, going, "This isn't a sport. What is this? This is shuffleboard." I mean, it was like saying darts is an Olympic event. It probably is.
That's also the thing. Like, there's so many ridiculous Olympic events now, like breakdancing and all these other things. Darts should be an Olympic event at this point.
Might as well be. But no, most of the people got upset about the opening ceremonies, which if you're a fan of sports anyways, you don't care. I mean, I don't think I've watched the opening ceremony ever. I mean, you wait till they get done with their blah, 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 and they end up coming in with all the athletes from around the world. That's the only thing I ever remember. Even back in the 90s or 80s, I don't remember. Couldn't tell you. You put a gun on me, I couldn't tell you. It's like the halftime shows. They used to not show the halftime shows. People are like, oh, the halftime shows now. And people watch. Even during the Super Bowls that my teams are in, we didn't watch the halftime shows because it was a time that, all right, let's go outside, get some fresh air, go to the bathroom, do anything. They're doing something for 20 minutes. We can do something else until the game starts back up. Nobody's a fan watches that stuff.
No, it's really it's for spectacle for people to watch. You aren't interested in sports. They're like, oh, look at the pretty dancing and look at the statues and all these other kinds of things and the themes that are there. Then like you remember some things like in the Atlanta one where Muhammad Ali did the torch there's stuff like that.
The arrow. What was the arrow?
There was the arrow one too. Was that in Atlanta or one of them was in Atlanta? Or that was Barcelona.
Yeah, but no, that was Barcelona. Yeah, I think it was Barcelona. Yeah, but you're saying out of all that stuff, you remember
the torch. You only remember the torch lighting because that's like the thing. And the LA Olympics are going to be great. And the cool thing about the LA Olympics is you can do all of the parts that were burned. You can hold all the events there now. You don't actually have to worry about it. Like they cleared out all this land, so they're going to play basketball in the Ashes, and they're going to have all these other baseball teams, and they're all just going to play there.
Well, this was funny because one of the apparently some skiers said something and the fake right got outraged, and so I saw this going. Well, and I forgot I got to link that screen in real quick.
We're working on it. we're working on it, folks.
American freestyle skiers are facing backlash following controversial comments made about representing the U.S.
what many call anti-American rhetoric.
I'm disgusted by it.
It's so upsetting.
It's so inappropriate.
This guy hates his country. He's clearly ashamed to be wearing the flag.
Go back home to Oregon in this case and march with Antifa.
And if you heard what the guy said, let me see. Because I don't trust Stuart to say anything without cussing. I watched it before, and I don't think he said anything, but here's what he said.
Brings up mixed emotions to represent the U.S. right now, I think. It's a little hard. There's obviously a lot going on that I'm not the biggest fan of.
It was like, really? That's all? You guys got excited about that? He's the worst human in the world for... Do you have to love your government? No.
Here's the thing. You're there representing the country. Just shut up and don't answer the question. It has nothing to do with asking. Yeah, but you know what? He's like, I'm here. Do the Bill Belichick. I'm just here to do some skiing, and I'm onto the ski slope.
He kind of did that too.
No, he if
he came out and said,
nobody cares about your emotional state, sweetheart. We want to know if you can curl, or if you can ski, or if you can hit the speed skates. I don't give a rip about your opinion, and I'm not going to give a rip about you. They get these stupid young people, and that's what they're all they've done is train their entire life, so they've never actually read a book. And then they come to these things, they get a microphone shoved in their face. Kind of the same thing that I get mad when the Pope gets a microphone shoved in his face. He's like, yeah, let me just say something off the cuff. Just don't answer the stupid question, right? Just don't answer the question. Nobody's forcing you to answer it. Just say, I'm here to represent America and I'm doing the skis. That's it.
I see what you're talking about there.
Because the left would have gotten, they would have done the Pharisee ripping their shirts if he was like, I kind of support what our president is doing, and I think it's, we need to have borders. If he said anything like that, Jon Stewart would have had a totally different opinion on that entire thing. I tell people he would have had a 55-minute curse-laden tirade about these people are Nazis and they're representing us on the stage. So I don't even care about that.
He's great when the other team's involved. When it's his team involved, they get upset. Yeah,
athletes, and this is whether they're professional, college, NASCAR, limit. Shut up and just talk about your sport.
So you're a shut up and dribble guy.
Dribble, shut up and ski. That's all I need you to do, sweetheart. I don't care about your opinion. Nobody cares about your opinion. Go away.
See,
Put on
all
your
right,
little
so,
tight,
okay,
put
see, I
on your
looked at
tight
it going-
outfit and go skiing.
So I looked at it going, you don't have to like your government. The part about people going, he hates his country and all this, whatever.
Yes,
Okay.
I understand. I completely understand that he you know, it was an overreaction, but at the same time, you don't have to give in to get it. You don't have to lace it to get a reaction.
I get that too, but I mean, like I said, and Stuart had a good point. I was laughing about it, going, it was kind of like a very coked out response. It wasn't like he just came out, condemned everyone's 3 seconds of Sunday. He just went out and said, yeah, I'm not a big fan of what's going on. You know, kind of like almost a dopey type of response. And you had these guys like Knowles and all these other guys just going rip. You talking about like Pharisee, I can't believe, get him out, kick him out, put him in the, kick him out of the country, blah, blah, blah. Like, okay, maybe there's a little overreaction on that too. I mean, it goes with the fake outrage, the fake left and the fake right going, okay, that's just because he didn't say, you know, he didn't play the Lee Greenwood song. Now we got to throw him in the 5th realm of hell.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just, we can avoid these things. And I get it. It's theater. And no matter what he said, he was probably going to get ripped for it from somebody anyway, which is why you just stick to the script, right? I'll give Mark that. You know, the United States spent millions of dollars to train him and get him there. They didn't train him to talk about politics. They didn't train him to do any of this other stuff. They trained him to put on some skis or, you know, do some speed skating or get in the luge. I don't know what he does.
Do they get millions now? I mean, they used to be
training him, like the development process.
I never followed anybody from cradle to from beginning of training to the end to see how much the feds are giving them to money with. I don't think the feds give them money.
I think once you get into the program, once you get into USA skiing or USA whatever, you know,
maybe if you go to use their training facility.
That's what I'm talking about. When you actually get into the program and you start actually practicing.
When does that actually start?
I mean, it doesn't start like a week before.
They're
training for a couple years and they're not doing anything else except that.
Yeah, and then I was like, okay, which groups would be going? Because I don't think like the curling guys are going there. And
well, the curling guys have my physique, so they're obviously not spending millions of dollars to train them. So
yeah, some guy's 55 years old. He's the oldest Olympian now because he was the backup to the backup to the backup for the curling guys, and they're getting blown out of the water. So they put him in as like mop duty, and he didn't even come close to the circle. I'm going,
yeah.
All this time just to make the team. I think couldn't you just get it in there a little bit? You know, throw a little dart and make it hit the hole.
Yeah, I mean, I really kind of wish those guys, the sports like that, I really wish they would smoke cigarettes while they did them. It would just be so much more entertaining.
Did you see that post on that?
No, but I would love to see the guys who curl just like light up a cigarette and, you know, put it out right before they start. That would be fantastic.
They don't put it out when they start. They're smoking while they're doing it.
Yeah, right. It's like hanging off the lip.
You see it right there. You see the top guy? It's hanging out of his mouth.
That's when we used to be a proper Olympics.
Proper people,
proper country, proper civilization is when
he's got the whole time in his mouth. He hasn't smoked the whole way.
That's a true athlete. Let's be real. That is a true athlete right there. There he is.
No, he never let it go.
He never, and that tells you that he has concentration. Like he's fallen, and that sucker he bit down. Like I'm not losing that.
Well, you go back in the baseball days. Baseball guys used to smoke when they were playing, and they just leave the cigarette on the base for the next guy. And you talk about sportsmanship.
Yeah. Hey, we lost a lot. We truly did lose a lot. So it is sad.
Yeah, when you get the Olympics back into smoking Marlboros.
And then you can get Marlboro to like sponsor you. That would be even better, right?
You already got the decathlon when they're shooting there. You have to do prone position and standing position.
Yeah, cross country. It's cross country skiing where they have to like do the target shooting on that. So
why not add a couple shots of whiskey and a stogie or something in there too? Yeah. Make it interesting. You know, why not?
That man would be a national treasure. That man would be a national treasure if he did that. He would be an absolute. He would be revered. if he could. But
one of these days you're going to see Rick in the bathalon or something. And
no, I got a blown ACL just like Lindsey Vonn. As soon as I do, I'm going to fall over myself.
Yes, Mark is right. It's the bitathlon or whatever. I knew it started with the BI. But yeah, it was a one. Was it a lady or a guy? They get up there and went done and went done, and then poor Poland is out there. I think they were still shooting by the time it was over.
Yep. Yeah, I'm sure Yoga will be in there eventually. And all the gooners will be like, "Oh, so awesome," and whatever. Like, get a life, dude. So, but anyway, let's move on. Let's talk a little SSPX. We'll address the controversy as best we can. I will come. I don't have a problem with the SSPX. I have very good friends that attend it. And so. To see this whole thing bubble up, I think it was it last week when it was announced, Steve, that they were gonna consecrate or anoint 5 new bishops in the SSPX because the SSPX is growing and so forth. And Rome came down, I believe, yesterday or today, and said, if you do this, you're going to be in schism, and we're going to pretty much smack down. It's an interesting phrase. It's either going to be the priest or the entire SSPX. Nobody really knows. It was kind of worded very sharply. And it is a difficult situation, Mark, because you have people like Father James Martin and others who are actually preaching heresy that are not being talked to in this way. And whatever you think about the SSPX, yes, they did some things a little wonky, according to my view. Doesn't mean I hate them. Doesn't mean I think they're bad people or whatever. That's my loose interpretation of it. But I don't think it's a great look for Rome, especially when Rome is cooperating with the CCP and Rome is doing all these other things. And they it's a difficult situation on both sides because of the roots of the SSPX, from my knowledge of it. So it's an awkward situation all around, and it doesn't look good for the church. And that's pretty much my main thoughts on that.
I don't really have a prepared statement or anything like that. I'm just going to read.
He's like the priest at mass who has to reach underneath for the 6 paragraphs, the 6 pages for the homily. Like, all right, honey, I'm going to check out. You wake me up when he's done with this.
Oh, read off the teleprompter.
All right, Anchorman.
No, it's one of those things that I hope everything works. God's in control. He still runs the church. I'm not in management. I'm in marketing. The whole 9 yards and all that. I get the everyone has opinions type deal thing. I stand with, if you get the book that Mediatrix Press has on by St. Robert Bellarmine on the church militant, it has a chapter in there that's specific to everything goes on, and as quotes St. Cyprian and a bunch of other guys. And Cyprian pretty much says, if you're not with the local bishop, you're not in the church. So
that's tough, like for a situation that you're dealing with in Charlotte.
Yeah, someone asked me, so how can you stick with the local bishop? I go, well, he's still bad. Just because he's abusive or he's pounding us in the ground doesn't mean that I'm done with him and I'm jumping ship. And he's still there. God put him in here for or somebody. God put somebody to send him here for some reason. Eventually things will get good, and God will make straight with some crooked lines one of these days. We got obviously pray and all this for our situation. So I get it. I'm in ground zero, crazy town. But still, he's our bishop, and still got to be united to him, or we're in big trouble. It's not like a democracy. Like, I don't like this guy. I'm going somewhere. I mean, I can move. I'm in the rental, so I can move somewhere else. Which has been on a, we are looking because we're in a rental, and the housing market is going to collapse, and when just hopefully be able to put something down to be able to get something one of these days. I can, I got my apple trees growing. They're about 8 tall. I'm like, I hope to get them in the ground before they're this big.
You don't want to be moving those.
My goal. If we're still here and that thing's fruiting, I'm in trouble. But yeah, we do get the leaders we deserve, which a lot of trads hate saying that, even though some priests of trad priests say it, and if I say it, I get lynched by some of these guys. But yeah, we get the leaders we deserve. And thank you, sir. May I have another type deal? And, the whole thing of take up your cross isn't just a bumper sticker until it's you. And then it's either, all right, do I, do the words that I say, or do I just use the bumper sticker lines? Like pray, hope, don't worry. It's easy to tell someone else not to pray, hope, and don't worry. It's hard for you to do yourself. All right, I got to pray, hope, don't worry. That when you tell people, it's like, hey, I'll pray for you when you got lost a job. But when you're the guy that's needing that job and needing the income, that rubber hits the road. It's a big different story. Or if you're stuck in the middle of the sea and you're like, oh, pray, hope, don't worry. And you're stuck in the middle of the sea. What are you going to do? Do you, things like that. So yeah, no, trust me, I get it. But I hope we'll see how things play out. Arrington's got some good stuff on his Substack. Jonathan Arrington does. And, I try to stay away from the listening to cheerleaders on one side or the guys that just trash without looking on the other. And just the facts, man, type deal thing. What's going on? Here it is. Stick to the fathers. I don't want the opinions of somebody that hits play or record. What the fathers say, what the saints say, what does the church say, and that's it. It's kind of like the Leonard Skinner simple man approach to it. What do these guys say? And I'm going to stick with that. That guy's just a podcaster. Okay, that's
yeah.
My dad used to say opinions are like buttholes. Everyone's got one. So try to figure out which ones you want to look at.
Yeah, and it is a shame because a lot of people are drawn to it, and it seems to be enriching those people's spiritual life. And the end goal, Steve, as we can all agree, we all want every person that we know, whether we like them or not, we want you all to get to heaven.
Bishop Bishop Barron, he's okay with the guys up in Minnesota.
Yeah,
I think he's brought him in. And there's one in Florida that's in. So that's what everybody wants. And if someone goes, I don't want unity, and that goes for the EO and everything, that they should be ashamed of themselves if they don't want unity. And if you want disunity, I'm all for disunity of the republic. Yes, I'm totally 100% on board with that. But we're talking about church-related stuff. You want, people kind of get on Leo about the EO stuff and the Eastern Orthodox, and like, hey, we want them to come in. We want to be one body, one, both wings going. So I hope they're, both come in on the same side. I mean, I've heard back in the day certain podcasters say, I quote, I am happy that they are not in the church, and that came from a apologist of them. So I mean, like, use their own words. They say it. It's not like I'm coming out saying, because people say Steve hates SSPX. I actually there's an SSPX priest that will text me every so often. He has problems with them in there. Everyone's got problems.
Yeah.
There's no perfect group. I mean, he's told me before that his brother priest got on him for praying by going past a cemetery once. And they're like, oh, why are you praying for those people? So there's problems in every group. If you think there's one that's perfect and, savior of the church, you're crazy.
Yeah, that really is it. It's that. And it is a problem with the amount of channels, and obviously people have a right to their opinion. We can't say that or run it, but the church, I've had the opinion that with the YouTubes and podcasts and things like that, the church was too far behind establishing a voice that left a lot of room for your layman podcasters to kind of entrench themselves. And I say this with all love, entrench themselves as a voice in these areas. And it doesn't matter who you are. I try to keep my directions from the church, and that's where it is. Once again, no hate to anybody that goes to the SSPX, none at all. I got some really close friends that go there. I know I sound like I have a black friend. That's what it sounds like I'm saying here, but at the same time, yeah, right. But at the same time, I asked, like, Steve, you're right. I'll ask one priest about the SSPX. He's like, yeah, blah, blah, blah. And then he got another, blah, blah, blah. So everybody's got an opinion on it, and it comes from the disunity. And I know Father Ripperger had a great thing when we were still looking for a pope before Leo was brought in. He had him on a podcast. He was on somebody's podcast. He's like, what would you do about the SSPX? And then he said, well, if I was the pope, the first thing I would do is I would just bring him in and we'll figure it out later. I'd rather have them in and we'll figure it out as we go along. but I just want to get past the disunity. And I think that's what we kind of all want in the end. It's just that we're just going through, there's such minutia to try and get there. And it's a sad state to see.
We should want unity. And if, even if your team does something bad that they shouldn't do, you should have the principles to call that team out if they do something wrong, no matter if it's MAGA, non-MAGA, the Obama fans, Trump fans, or if this case, if something goes down and went wrong and the worst possible thing comes out of it, and deep down inside that was a wrong move, should be able to say that was a wrong move. If you can't, then you're in a different, your mindset is not on the church thing. Then I don't know. It's not like you don't have a vote in this. It's either one or the other guy. It's
let's figure it out. Let's get a decision. Right. We're in a situationship right now with all this, and nobody wants to be in this.
This is a popularity contest. This is for getting in the pearly gates. Who cares? In a sense, who cares how you get in it? Get in, and well, you mean who cares how you get in? But your goal is to get in.
Exactly.
But
exactly.
I'm not jumping off the boat to jump in the water. If the people in the helm, if they're having a fight or they lost their mind or they're hammered, staying in the boat.
Yeah, the boat. Yeah, Earth is that ship, so just stay in it.
I ain't swimming it. I can't swim. There's a kid that swam. I ain't that kid that swam. I mean,
oh yeah, that kid that swam like what 4 or 5 miles.
Yeah,
and then he got to shore and nobody could speak English, so he had to
he had to run the 2 more miles to get to a phone. He did the triathlon for life, literally.
I'm
survivor, literally.
I just would have been like, let me die. Like, give me, that's it. Yeah, I do, Brian, that's a good point. And that doesn't help that there are people that are coming out and condemning the SSPX. All that kind of stuff doesn't help the unity of the church. And I think that's what we're trying to kind of say is that
it's online people. Just don't listen online. Don't go online. There's no charity on X or anything like that.
No. You don't get views with charity, Ryan. That's the thing. You don't get thousands of views with charity. You get thousands of views with, dissension and all these other kinds of things, hot takes and and that kind of stuff.
Bondi telling you how dare you say anything, but don't you ever tell me that.
Yeah. So
being a Bondi, you get clicks on being a Bondi.
Yeah, Bondi. Yeah. Exactly. So we'll keep our eye on it, but as long here at the weekly reckoning, we're just hoping for unity. That's really what we're hoping for. Thanks, Steve.
I had him queued up. I haven't used him yet.
Well, thank you. I think that was a perfect time. That's perfect timing, bud. But what else we got? We covered pretty much that and everything we had on top and more.
Well, we did on the old show. We did a cry room. So if anybody doesn't know about it, go ahead. We'll do a little cry room. If you guys in the chat, if you have a cry room person, who's your saint of the day or saint of the week in a cry room, put it in the chat. How about that? And
absolutely.
Rick, yours.
Anybody that watched the Super Bowl, I'm gonna put you in the cry room because it was just bread and circuses on that whole thing. So I'll give you that. I will give a hat tip to the Firearm blog, who just published a story, a small business piece on me, on the armed papist. So and here's the crazy thing. I didn't even know they published it until I had an email from somebody who wanted to do training. And I was like, cool. He's like, yeah, I saw your article on the Firearm blog. And I went, the Firearm blog? What do you mean the Firearm blog? So big thank you to the gentleman over at the Firearm blog for the very nice article about my organization, the Armed Papist, and my book, The Armed Catholic, The Catholic Case for Guns and Self-Defense, which you can get on Amazon right now. So those are my two that are my saint of the week and my cry room.
I'll go with my cry room is MAGA. You can throw the entire MAGA organization in the cry room. It's a big room.
We're doing a broad one. We're doing a broad one today.
Yeah, big broad one. Everything for those that are twisting everything and just it's mind-blowingly tiring to watch. And but my saint of the week is I'm going with the kid that swam to save his family. And
that was gonna be the
if you don't know who I'm talking about, you got to look it up. I had it on Clown Planet, and I did a Substack. I got a Substack, by the way, Census Fidelity on Substack. And I wrote about that, what he did. And, yeah. I don't know. Yeah, working on that. But for him to be able to swim that far with the tide, and you see the video that you can see the tide just. It wasn't fun. And then he threw off his vest to be able to swim the rest of the way. I don't know how he did. I would have died.
I would have been like, just let me go. Just let me go.
His mom thought he did. I mean, man, for him to make it, and the guy's on crutches too. I mean, like, it shows the will of somebody to get something done. So if you no excuses, some 14-year-old swam 4 miles against the current to save his family.
Exactly.
In shark-infested waters.
You probably punched a shark in the face too while he was at it. We just don't know that yet.
Yeah, this was Southwest Australia, I think it was.
Yeah, in the movie that'll be made, he'll punch a shark in the face.
So Southeast Australia, maybe. Either way, they're all shark infested.
It's Australia. Everything's trying to kill you. Everything's trying to kill you in Australia. Even the water. Even the water's trying to kill him at that point. So it's just like, no, thank you. No, ma'am.
It could be a bad Naked Gun movie when the alligator, the crocodile's coming at you, and the crocodile gets the shark, and the shark gets that, and then some snake comes down and grabs you, and like, what's going on? You're just...
Yep. There's always a bigger fish, as the saying goes. So, but yeah. So that's going to conclude us on our first weekly reckoning. We want to thank you all for hanging out with us. Please like, subscribe, and share if this is your first time hanging out. Leave a comment below. Let us know what you liked. Let us know, actually, in the comment section, your saint of the week and your cry room. We'll get a good list of people who what your saint of the week and your cry room is for the week. Like and subscribe. We will talk to you next week. God bless, and Viva Cristo Rey. Thank you.